I'm here at the C4 Waterman brand new HQ, right, over on Coral Street, and I wanted to actually get more scoops on the sub-vector line because I tried the 9.3 before, right? I tried the 9.3. I liked that. I wanted more paddle power. I wanted it bigger and so on. And now when the 10-foot came out, I just think it's perfect, right? I've gotten, I don't know, 3 or 4 good sessions on this. Had a really good session on the North Shore on this thing. And I just think that this board, personally for me, my size, my skill level or so on, this is the best board you guys have made. Period.
That's nice of you to say. But this board is actually, it's kind of a takeoff off of a custom board that Dave and I made for ourselves. Dave made one, I made one. They're obviously a lot smaller, but it had a real progressive rocker on it, real short board, progressive rocker.
So what does that mean, progressive rocker?
Meaning like it's a little bit more, you have more rocker in the nose. All the curves throughout the side cut, throughout the rocker on the tail and the nose is a lot more progressive. And you can see one of the things that is unique is that, you know, not only does the bottom rocker, the top rocker follows the bottom rocker contour. And this is really important, believe it or not, for the function of the board, because the top of the board does play a role in how the bottom of the board performs. And so you'll see all the contours match each other throughout the board. So I'm just kind of curious what you felt on this board.
Okay, here's the first thing that tripped me out. The sharp, the kind of hard edges on the bottom, normally that seems to catch for me. You know what I mean? I'm used to really soft rails on almost throughout until the end. And this one with the hard rails, when I first looked at it, I said, I don't know about this one. But after about 20 minutes, man, I love this thing. Remember well,
it's faster. It'll be faster. It's a much more progressive rail. It's more like a shortboard.
And it holds in on anything steep.
Right.
Anything steep, it's like, okay, no problem.
The other thing is this board's thinner than some of our other boards, but it's also it's not as wide and it's a little thinner, but you get stability off of the hard edge. And the other thing you get stability on is, again, this is our design of the concave deck or the sub-vector deck, which gives you a lot more support in balancing because the deck is sunken lower, so your center of gravity is a lot lower. But this board is unique in many ways. Like I said, it's modeled a lot after Dave and I's boards that we just made and we've been riding around. And so we decided to put it in production, but on a larger scale to fit more people. So I ride my board that's similar to this as a quad. But the thing is with quads is they need some speed under them, you know, to actually utilize the rail for a quad. So it depends the type of wave you're surfing, but this board is set up so that you can put any type of fin configuration, a quad, 2+1, or what I ride a lot of times is just as what I would call a true thruster. And what that is I would use regular side thruster fins, and my center fin would be more like a 5 1/4 inch thruster fin. So what I would call like a true thruster.
So which fin setup is better if you kind of step hard on your back foot?
2+1 or a true thruster. Yeah. When you ride a quad, you have to ride the board slightly up more because you're utilizing the rails. Otherwise, the quad is just too raily. But if you ride the tail, if you're like a tail turner, you'll want it set up as a 2+1 or a thruster.
Okay. Okay. Here's the other thing I noticed. This board, even at 10 foot, seemed to turn better for me than the 9.3.
Right. This board, because of its
tighter turns, it just turns better.
Because of its progressive rocker, the way it's set up, it will turn better. And you know, it kind of teaches you, I don't know if you figured out the misnomer of not necessarily do you have to have a short board to have a good turning board. Right. You know, and those short boards are great. What you lose in paddling performance and paddling speed is quite high compared to what you gain out of maneuverability if your board is designed right. So I don't know what you felt, but you felt. Do you feel? I mean, this board.
It just feels like it turns better. It paddles way better. It's stable. I mean, the 9.3 for me, this, you know, it's 9.3. It's stable. It didn't paddle. I mean, it doesn't paddle anywhere near what this thing.
Well, it's
paddles
9.3.
like. Right.
The
and
difference
then
is it's 9.3.
the interesting thing is that the rocker on this one, you can go on steeper waves. You can, you know, go almost straight down if you have to by accident or whatever, and you don't curl.
Again, all caused from the more progressive
Right.
rocker, more curved. This board is made to fit in more of a curvy style, progressive. I'd call it progressive high performance wave. This board will fit in it a little bit because of the rocker. The 9.0 subvector, great board. This kind of rides more like a real like a fun board or like a nice fish, really loose, really fast, really responsive. You know, obviously it's 9.3, so it's not going to paddle as fast as a longer water line in 10.0, but still a loose board, but a different performance feeling board. Probably something that would be really useful in waves that weren't as this would be more of a board that I would use in waves that aren't as juicy. You know, kind of fun style waves, as opposed to the new subvectors are kind of made for that little more curvy, juicy wave.
But even on the not so juicy waves, the 10-foot turns fine. I mean,
yeah, but even right in the North Shore and stuff, in comparison, you know, I think you find the difference. I mean, I have a board that is, I have this new rocker in a 9.0, and I have this subvector in a 9.3, but a lot thinner and narrower. And when the waves are kind of small and a little more slopey, I go directly to this the 9.3, this style right here, because it just fits better. It's a funner board. When it gets juicy, I dive into the more progressive rocker board.
Well, what about the bigger guys? You know, 200 pounds.
Well, that's no problem. That's what. So these boards, the 9.6 subvector and the 10.0 subvector, are really more performance boards set up for those big guys.
Right.
You know, the 9.6, you can still ride at 200 pounds. And then, you know, this 10.0, if you're a progressive kind of hot dog surfer, this is going to be good for guys 200 to probably 250. Yeah.